What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Trivia Vice. We've got a really fun video plan for you today. So basically, we are doing a pre-recorded part one of a three-part series of basically all the Halloween movies. So if you're new here, be sure to like the video, subscribe it if you enjoy this type of content. And I think without further ado, Dan, you ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited.
Go ahead and talk to him here for just a second. I'm going to get it ready to go. And we've got 10 questions for you guys on this one right here.
Yeah, so honestly, if you guys are like me, the reason you clicked on this is because you love the Halloween movies. Michael Myers is one of your favorite movie characters or horror movie villains. Halloween Kills is coming out in literally a day when we post this. So really excited. I'm going to be going to watch it Friday night. So that's the biggest thing is we just want to be able to, give you guys some trivia, and hopefully there's some of it you guys don't know. That's the whole idea is there's some questions you don't know. There might be some you do. So it's technically going to be split up into 2 rounds. That's just the way our software does it. But without further ado,
you want to kick off round one there, and then I'll do round two?
Absolutely. So question number 1. What year did Michael Myers commit his first murder? 1978, 1965, 1963, or 1960? So, briefly shown in the very first film, we see a 6-year-old Michael Myers commit his first murder, and it was his sister Judith. And Michael at the time was only, like I said, only 6. He was born in 1957, as we find out in later on in part 1. And so that puts it at 1963, because it is 15 years later, 1978, when he comes back and begins his killing spree.
Where do you rank Halloween in terms of like overall, just overall horror / Halloween movies?
Well, the original Halloween movie, in my opinion, is just the pinnacle of, it's just a simple, it's non-convoluted, it's a simple plot. Yep. And that's what I love about it. All right, here we go. What town stood in during filming to create the fictitious Haddonfield? Was it Santa Monica, California, Santa Barbara, California, Pasadena, California, or Los Angeles? So interestingly enough, John Carpenter was on a shoestring budget. The film was only made for about $300,000, which even back in the 70s...
That still blows my mind.
Yeah. Even back in the 70s, that's just nothing compared to movies now that are made with hundreds of millions of dollars.
Even if you think of $300,000, like you think of movies like Rocky was on I think it was a $1 million budget or something like that, which you look at that and it's like, that's insanely low. Star Wars, the original Star Wars was like 11 million. And people thought that was just, incredible that they could pull that off. So 300,000, like, wow.
Yeah. Ended up grossing $78 million at the box office over the course of a couple months, because back then films weren't released all in one day, especially low budget ones like that. They were released over the course of weeks or even months.
Wow.
Question number 4. How much was John Carpenter paid to write, direct, and produce Halloween? Is it $50,000, $5,000, $100,000, or $10,000? So this actually is one of the reasons why really John Carpenter, after the first film was done, and it took off, he really didn't want much to do with it. It was actually $10,000, which in today's money is about $40,000, which is still an unbelievably low sum for a director of technically a, studio movie. I mean, I know it was independently produced, but it's still technically a movie that really he should have been paid more.
Especially when you look at the fact that the profit on that movie is incredible.
And that's one of the reasons he was so spiteful to come back for a second. He made money doing it because of that. But then after that, it took until the Halloween 2018 to really want to come back, because they finally paid him some really much long overdue money. Final question for the first round. What type of car does Michael drive around Haddonfield? Is it a van, a truck, a station wagon, or motorcycle?
So going back to John Carpenter, where do you put him in terms of like overall like horror style directors?
I personally think John Carpenter is the master of horror. I really do. I think when he movies like The Fog cement his status after you see Halloween. Halloween wasn't just a fling, and then The Thing was followed up literally the year after The Fog, or maybe a year or two after. And The Thing is still, a lot of people consider it top 5 best horror movies ever made. It's just a great movie.
What I've always liked about him too is he's not a one-trick pony. Like he does a lot. He's done well with different genres.
Oh yeah, he's done actions. He's done action comedies, drama. I really enjoy John Carpenter, and I wish movies like Big Trouble in Little China made more money for him, so he would have stayed in the limelight. But
all right, perfect. So round 2 coming up right here. We got about 25 seconds or so before it gets started. What do you want to tell the people out there that are watching, Dan?
So, guys, part 2, you'll notice round 2 is going to focus more on the sequel, Halloween 2, and I believe what we're going to do for parts 2 and 3, we're going to focus on, further movies in the franchise. We're not going to ignore them like the new timeline's doing with the movies. We're going to talk about all of them for part 2 for the video and part 3. So stay tuned for those. Very soon they'll be coming out.
Excuse me. All right, number 1. What was the Shape's first murder victim in 1978? Or who was, sorry. The mechanic, Linda, Judith, or Anne?
So fun fact about this is a lot of people tend to forget how many people Michael Myers killed in the first Halloween. People tend to think of it like other slashers where he kills all these people. And the truth is he kills Judith, and then there's some time that passes, and then he does kill the mechanic to get his mechanic suit, which he wears in every other film. But then really it's only Linda, Anne, and Bob are the only other victims in the film. He kills 5 people.
As you say, his body count is actually, fairly low for any type of movie like this.
And it's bloodless. There's no blood really in the first movie.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes it scarier. I think when you don't show a lot of stuff, I mean, obviously we all love gruesome kills if we love horror movies, but yeah, sometimes it's better.
It puts you on the edge of your seat more too, because like you just don't know when it's coming.
Yes.
All right, number 2. In Halloween 2, where does the Shape end up writing the word Samhain in blood? The police station, the hospital, the elementary school, Smith's Grove Sanitarium. Now, did I pronounce that right, Dan? Samhain?
You did. I'm really impressed. Yep.
Dan has basically drilled that into my mind because I pronounced it wrong the first time that I read it. And
Halloween 2 is where a lot of you guys are going to know Dr. Loomis pronounces it wrong and says Sam Hain in the film, which is how you would think it's pronounced, but it is a Celtic word, so it's pronounced Samhain. Not sure how the heck they get that out of that, but but it is at the elementary school, which is funny because like literally 30 seconds later, Nurse Chambers comes in and starts just lighting up like 4 cigarettes. The early 80s. You gotta love it.
All right, number 3. Who was killed by being hit with a police cruiser in Halloween 2? Jerry Tifton, Bob Smith, Ben Tramer, Ann Brackett.
So this is a very controversial kill in the Halloween lore. I know a lot of fans like this is the one that bothers people the most. I gotta be honest, I really agree. Mainly because it just comes out of nowhere. So we find out in the first film that Lori has a thing for Ben Tramer. She wants to take him to the dance. She has a crush on him. Poor Lori can't catch any break. All her friends die, and then Ben Tramer, who's dressed up as Michael, wears the same mask as Michael Myers, gets hit by a police cruiser and then blows up. And in the second act of the film, they're spending trying to find out if it's truly Michael Myers, so they have to take his charred body, and they use dental records to find out it's Ben Tramer. Poor guy was just trick-or-treating and got slammed with a police cruiser, pinned up against another car, and then blown the hell up. Talk about overkill.
That makes for a rough evening right there.
Justice for Ben Tramer.
Number 4, how is the Shape finally defeated in Halloween 2? Stabbed with a scalpel, shot in the eyes, he escapes, or he burns to death.
So we got a couple of things here. Scalpel is used in Halloween 2 many times. That's actually his preferred choice, really, in Halloween 2, which is kind of an interesting thing. Michael is famously shot in both eyes, and then you see the blood coming down the mask, and a lot of, it's a very iconic image. The Doesn't make much sense if you think about it, but you know what? It looks cool. He escapes in the first one, but then does burn to death at the end of the second one with the song Mr. Sandman playing in the background. And honestly, up until the newest movies, the 2018 movie, that's kind of been the lore, is Michael's always charred and burned and everything because part 2 takes place. But as we all know, Halloween from 2018 and the new films are taking place immediately after Halloween 1.
All right, there you have it, guys. There's part 1 of a 3-part series right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. As soon as we do, we are doing a giveaway to one lucky person once we hit 1,000. And think about watching us live as well. We go live every Monday and Wednesday evening, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun. We do give away prizes occasionally. We want to get to the point where we're giving away stuff every time, I think.
Absolutely. And guys, we do apologize. We said in the beginning, it's 10 questions. It's actually going to be 8 this time, but we're going to make it up to you. We'll do 12 questions total next time we do for part 2, going on to Halloween 3, Halloween 4, and Halloween 5. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for playing.
Thanks a lot, guys.